How you doing, everybody? Today we are out here in Corbett, Oklahoma. This is an Oklahoma ghost town, not too far away from where I live, my home base, and thought I'd bring you guys out here today with me to explore. Now, driving in here, there are still houses here, there's still people living here, so it's not a completely dead and empty ghost town. We're probably not going to see too many buildings that are dilapidated or empty or anything like that. From what I understand, the original building that was left, like the original home, the only one left, is gone. Either that or it's on private property that I can't find, I can't get to. But what you see standing here behind me, right here, is the Corbett Baptist Church. Now, the steeple that you see in the shot, that's original from the town in the late 1880s, 1890s, and this building here, even though it's been highly remodeled, is the only original building left in Corbett, Oklahoma. Now, it never became a city. We're really close to the river here, so the farmland isn't all that great. So it really never grew and expanded and lived up to its potential. But it doesn't mean it's not an interesting place to explore. So how about we take a poke around and see what we can see. Alright guys, we're still out here at the church. I'm going to check out this big field behind it to see if we can't see anything. Oh, there's barbed wire too. Not much out here. I understand this is a pretty neglected site. And that's okay. It seems like everybody that lives here is probably happy. That's beautiful out here though. And look, a donkey and a horse, I think. I'm not too much on my farm animals here. We can take a walk around the church. See what we can see here. That was a heck of a drive getting out here too. Some construction on one of the little state highways getting out here, but no worries. Adventure, we love it. That's why we do these. That's why I do these videos on this channel. It's for the adventure. Like I was saying before, that steeple there, that is the original steeple to the original church in this township. It's pretty neat. It's a nice little church. Really well built, well maintained garden. And something I've noticed about small towns in Oklahoma is, you know, if the church is nice and they keep it nice, it's usually a somewhat happy community. Granted, it's not like the little town that I live in that has like 8 churches. This is probably the only one. But you can definitely see where the property line changes, for sure, for the church. You know, they just don't keep it up. But there is a cemetery down the road. We'll be checking that out as well. There's no place that I can pull off the side of the road to try to get a good view of what is supposed to be the original township and the exact original site. I'm actually just north of the intersection that they say the original site is supposed to be on. But it's fairly overgrown. When I drove by, I didn't see much. So, oh no. Let's see. Let's take a walk up the road a little bit here. Let you guys see what I'm looking at. Oh wow, check that out. Wonder how long that thing's been sitting there. As you can see, it's pretty It's pretty dense back there. Doesn't look like anybody's been back there in a long time. And I'm assuming this is all private property that's running down the side of the road here. Remember, if you're out here visiting, be respectful, be peaceful. These are places of peace, not to come out and mess around with. So take an example from Sirius. Be respectful, please. Let's go see what we can see. That building back there, that's definitely not original. It's a Windstream building, which I believe is probably internet access. Could be something else, could be cable, who knows. But we're not here for the internet. We are here for the ghost town. Oh man, this is a beautiful cemetery. Let's get you some of the shots of some of these graves here. (1920, 22, 1983). So there are some recent graves out here, I believe. Wow, 1863 to 1916. 1859 to 1922. And judging by the names on the stones and the father and mother on the top, I believe they were probably husband and wife. Baby Higby. Morale 26. Oh, didn't make it past one day. So yeah, this is probably the best representation of the town that you're going to actually be able to see, is the cemetery. Ward. I remember that name from some of the research I've done. 1890, 1899. I think these were 1877, even though that's a new stone. Or 1904 to 1905. Wow. Oh, what's this? I read about this. Yeah, John Ward, honoring the war dead, and it's a ship's bell. Looks like they've got a couple out here by the road here too, right by the fence line. That must be the donkey. Like I said, it's an absolutely beautiful graveyard out here. Very quiet, out in the middle of the country. They've got trees. But if you remember my last graveyard videos, one of the more important things in a cemetery is the trees. The trees add some, I don't know, just a sense of nature and oneness. Not a very large cemetery either, which is kind of appropriate. The town never really got all that big from what I read. Some out here in the back. '81 to 2015. Wow. Kid was younger than I was. '27 to '81, 1913. '32 to '91. So it's really looking like the Ward family is probably the oldest family in the cemetery, so they were probably one of the original, one of the original families to the area. It'd be interesting to know if there's any of them still living in town. Clanahan. Aye, that's a good Scottish name it is. 1899. There we go, James P. Corbett. Now I believe Mr. Corbett was the founder of this town, and this looks like his little spot, their little spot here. James and Mary Corbett. Well, he was 10 years older than she was. Scandalous. It appears they had a son that didn't make it. Only lived till May to September. But yeah, this has been the town of Corbett, Oklahoma. One of Oklahoma's great lost, forgotten ghost towns. And you can easily Google the location and get a map direction out here. That's what I did to find it. But if you do, please be respectful. Don't trespass. I didn't go anywhere that wasn't public property. I didn't venture onto any private property whatsoever, trying to find anything I wanted to find. Now, if I had been able to talk to somebody and maybe they led me up there and showed me, that would have been one thing. But that's the big thing about these videos, is Urbex is great. Urbex is wonderful. Getting to see very cool, abandoned, old things. But my personal philosophy is that you got to do it right, man. You can't just go trespassing onto someone else's property. Number one, you can go to jail. Number two, it's just not the right way to do things. As you noticed in my Sacred Heart video, I got permission to be out there. And because I took the time to stop and talk to that nice priest, I got a nice history of the place, and I got a better sense of what was out there. And it really helped dispel the urban myth of that place being haunted for me. You know, I'm a believer. I believe in ghosts. But, you know, that place wasn't one of them, and this place isn't either, as far as I can tell. This is just a small town that came up in the 1850s, 1860s. Well, no, probably 1880s. Started in the 1880s. Just didn't make it. Originally was known as Higbee, and I think that's why we see a lot of the Higbee names, and then changed over to Corbett. But, like I said, beautiful little corner of Oklahoma that probably not very many people get to visit. Very serene and peaceful. Country views. Quiet. No cars. You know, maybe that's something we need to stop and consider in our lives sometimes, is finding these places where we can be alone and quiet. And find these little hidden gems. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Oklahoma Ghost Towns. And until I see you guys again, I'll check you later.